Good afternoon. For those of you that have never seen Disco Valley, this is a very deep introduction actually, but yeah, it's a round of multiplayer round, which I thought I would just record and show you guys. For those of you that haven't ever played or seen this game, this very super fun game. There's quite a few courses, I think 12 or 13, but I'm speaking completely incorrection. But yeah, so today we're playing these three courses, 3 holes of each. Let's get straight into the first one, Coyote Canyon. This is the first hole they've given us. Here I take my Big Skip Extra Glide Rive. I try and throw it. I throw it on a forehand, but with an anhyzer right between those rock pillars. Skip it up, miss this rock, which I do. It slides a little bit too far, but it's still going to be a manageable putt. 22 meters, quite uphill, so I take my windbreak because the wind is directly in my face at the 3, which is quite strong. I give it about 32, 33 meters, and luckily I put it in for the eagle, which is very nice, which gives me a great start to my round. The other two still have to finish the hole. Here you can either go straight towards those 2 pillars and then just, so that's sort of a layup. I try and do that, but the Rive, with its predictable fade, fades out too hard. Luckily it misses that pillar and it lands up here on the island and sticks, which is great. So it means if I slide to the right, I should be able to try and go for my eagle. I aim it a little bit higher. This putter goes about 68 meters, so I have to power it down, but unfortunately I haven't powered down enough, and I throw it right over the basket. But it will make for an easy comeback putt, so I should get the easy birdie and stay ahead of the rest of the guys. Great, 3 under, 2 holes, great. Here is the last hole for today from this course. Here I throw my stag, which is from Westside Disc, I believe. Once again, little anhyzer. I want it to fade out right into this gap, hit this back tree, and then by the skull, and then slide to the right. Yeah, I can just play a normal putt, throw a normal putt, and that should be an easy birdie once again. Right, great start. I love this course as well. Of course, every course has got 9 holes, so go check it out. So here's the next 3 holes from a different course, Cahoe Park. Yeah, I always take my Maverick from Dynamic Discs. Give it a little bit of an anhyzer. It tends to, in any case, go to the right first, this disc, but then it predictably comes back. Not too hard. Doesn't fade too hard back. It's got a very nice straight flight. And I always get a skip on the water, and I can tap it in for the birdie. Yeah, you're also looking for maximum distance, so therefore I'm going for my accurate Big Skip Rive. But I didn't compensate enough for that crosswind of 3, so I hyzer out too early, fade out too early, and of course going out of bounds. There's no drop zone, so it means, and also there's bunker rules in place, so I have to re-tee. Hopefully I learn from my mistake and do it again. Yes, so yeah, I've given it enough anhyzer. It's going to come back because there's nothing in front of you, just open land, and then it comes back very nicely with, once again, that predictable fade at the end, which the Rive gives you. Of course, I'm going to try and make this with my Mutant, but this is like a beef hook mid-range. Unfortunately, I just missed that one. That's quite a tricky shot in any case to make, but I try and stick it in because there is out of bounds at the back as well. So I do get my, by the way, that's a pixel that I'm throwing. I got it in one of the seasons. It's a windbreak, so every time there's quite a big wind, I used to use that putter. Here I'm going for max distance in between these, the small tree and the large one, but this time around I give it too much anhyzer. Luckily it flies over the bunker, which plays as a hazard, and it's gonna go and nestle up right next to this tree. I should be able to just slide to the right. There's a slight pause in the game here because I had to quickly speak to my son. But in any case, let me tell you, so I'm going to try and look for something that goes further than 130 meters. And of course, my Sampo and my Sapphire only goes about 130. So I'm sticking with the Rive. I don't want it to fly too far. There is a bit of a 2 wind in my face. This is the sticky Rive that I have, and unfortunately it sticks too quickly, so I'm left with a 25 meter putt, which is never easy. I'm try and throw it about a 30 meter power, just in front of 30 meter power, and it was luckily just enough. It sneaks over the bottom of the basket in for an eagle, staying in touch with the rest of the card. Right, yeah, I always take my sticky Sampo because I've taken my extra glide Sampo before, but then it tends to fly too far and it actually skids over this little backdrop and into the water, so I rather want it to stick. Then you have about 120 or 110 to 120 meter shot in. Here I take my extra glide with a bit of hyzer because I want to try and hyzer away from these trees. I do that with a nice kick and land up next to this pile of leaves, which will give me quite an easy birdie putt once again. So far it's actually a great round, so I chose a good round to record. Well, bearing in mind these are not the most difficult courses. There's a few courses on Disco Valley that are a lot harder than this one. Yeah, you're also just trying to look for max distance, but not max distance, more of a, you want it to actually fade a little bit more. Here at the end you can see it's hyzering nicely, and you want to ideally land on this road. That's a perfect tee shot, if I have to say so myself. But yeah, I'm also trying to lay up because you can go for this eagle shot, but there's a massive drop off at the back, and that is 60 meters is quite a difficult shot to make. So I always just go for the layup, and most of the card also just always gets birdies here. So you seldom see someone make an eagle, and if you do, then you definitely get a separation on your card. Still one shot ahead, great. Last hole. Yeah, I need my water skip rive. Yeah, they introduced that a few years ago in the game, which makes it nice on a lot of the courses that have water. I did analyze this one, but too much, so I have collision against that tree. Luckily, I'm still going to skip and go up, but it means that I don't have enough power to go through this bush. So I'm going to have to throw a little bit harder to get through my bush. You can see I throw about 30 meter power, but I aim too low and therefore hit the cage. Easy birdie, but I see that FZ has made an eagle, which means we'll be tied up in the end. Yes, 10 under. Both of us, so I'm tied for the lead, and unfortunately that's how the round ends. So this was just a quick introduction to Disco Valley. I've also leveled up, and every time you level up in the game, you can see I'm at level 107 already, so I've played the game for about a year now. Then you can choose a disc. Hope you guys enjoy it. Get the game, it's awesome. And what I'm going to try and do is, I'm trying to also record a round for the Beast, which is coming up with the World Championships. Alright, cheers.